2.5 years ago, Egyptians rose up against President Hosni Mubarak and demanded freedom, dignity, and social justice. Many of those same people came out to protest the military council that replaced him. And they took to the streets again against President Mohamed Morsi, the Islamist voted into power. There's no question that the power of the street is strong. What's not evident is the presence in government of many who took part. Longtime activist Wael Khalil says that's the democracy movement's biggest failure.
We've been able to oppose things and change things, but we haven't been able to force what we want.
Khalil knows that politics is messy and difficult, and he's reluctant to engage in it. But he says people who want the 2011 uprising to succeed need to step forward.
More and more people should really get their hands dirty and really look at it as we have to do it ourselves.
It is high time.
Those who did engage in politics, like members of the National Salvation Front, were widely criticized as ineffectual and prone to infighting. Commentator Rania Al-Malki.
The opposition in Egypt over the past year has never been the kind of constructive opposition that was really, at heart, supportive of the revolution. It never was.
The true opposition, she says, was consistently stymied.
There was, the revolutionaries on the ground who were infiltrated constantly by the counter-revolutionaries who belonged to the former Mubarak regime.
Those counter-revolutionary forces, she believes, have prevailed again. And she fears the situation is back to where it was before the 2011 uprising, with criticism of leaders quashed. Aside from the crackdown on the Muslim Brotherhood, journalists and anti-military activists have been detained. Mohammed al-Baradei, the interim vice president and a leader of the National Salvation Front, resigned his post over the bloodshed. He has been charged with breaching national trust. While Khalil says Egypt has been through this before.
We know that from Mubarak. They started with the Islamists in the 90s, and then the police state got really ugly and brutal against everyone.
Even as he listens to the government's defense of what it calls the war on terrorism, he remains hopeful. But he also says it will be difficult in the years ahead to make the slogan freedom, dignity, and social justice a reality. Elizabeth Arrott, VOA News, Cairo.